Wednesday from Boo and I. What's up, everyone? I appreciate you joining in on another fantastic Facebook Live video geared towards providing you with a lot of value and practical information. If you recall, this week and next week, we're talking about transitioning from a dieting phase into a maintenance phase. And if you recall, on Monday, we talked about the number one post-diet mistake you can make when transitioning to a maintenance phase. And if you recall, that was not increasing your calories. We talked about the vicious cycle that creates for you, not only in the short term, but the long term too. And if you remember, I detailed my own personal experience with that vicious cycle as I transitioned out of my first two bodybuilding competition diets. I'm gonna put him down, say bye one last time. But hey, happy Wednesday. If you're having a great day today, please comment below. A capital Y-E-S, yes, I'm having a great day today. Me? I'm having a freaking fantastic day. Spent all morning creating more and more content specific to you and what you want to learn about. And hey, I had a blast writing it, and I had a lot of coffee too, as you can tell. So without further ado, Patricia, awesome, love it. Without further ado, tonight's topic is going to be transitioning from a dieting phase to a maintenance phase. What should you expect? Well, before I tell you exactly what you should expect, and that won't cover everything, I want to review, Kara, awesome. Where's those exclamation points? Come on now. Now, before we dive in, let's talk about what you actually expect during your dieting phase. You know, you expect a specific rate of weight loss per week, which I hope you set a realistic goal between 0.5 and 1.0% of your body weight per week. You also expect to lose X amount of weight over X amount of weeks. So for example, you might expect to lose 12 pounds in 12 weeks. This is highly individualized, but again, it should fall within that 0.5 to 1.0% of your body weight every single week. Now, when the dieting phase is over, this is when anxiety and uncertainty skyrocket to a whole nother level. Those of you just joining us, welcome. If you see the yes comments below, comment yes, capital Y-E-S, if you're having a great day today. Anywho, so uncertainty and anxiety, they skyrocket when you make that transition. And you know who I blame for that? I blame society. Because from the young age, we are told that the scale is the end-all, be-all, and that the scale number defines who we are, the progress we've made, our health, physique, and performance. So when dieting, we become very attached to the scale number and have a sense of tunnel vision. And that is one of the unhealthiest relationships you can develop because the scale does not paint the entire picture. And if I could throw some, oh, Trisha, very nice. If I could throw some photos up on the screen, maybe I'll learn how to do that while I'm doing a Facebook Live video. I'll work on that. I could show you countless people I've worked with where the scale may reveal that you've only lost a couple pounds, but their body composition is drastically different. And even furthermore, their energy, their well-being, confidence, nutrition knowledge, and exercise performance are 10 times better. So again, the scale is a great tool, but it's not the end-all be-all. And when we transition out of that dieting phase, we're accustomed to looking for weight loss every single week. And now all of a sudden, our priorities have changed. And we're not trying to lose weight anymore. We're trying to maintain weight. So expectation number one is expect to feel outside of your comfort zone. Completely, emotionally, physically. Like I said, you spent the last couple months locked in on the scale number, slowly trending downward. Now all of a sudden it's supposed to look like this. Well, the problem is, although you expect it to look like this, in all reality, it's going to look like this. It's going to go all over the place. So expectation number two, in addition to feeling out of your comfort zone, is expect the scale to fluctuate. And some days to actually fluctuate like crazy. Olga, what do you got for me here? Make a video about massing and maintenance. Noted, it's coming up in the timeline here in the next few weeks. Thank you for the awesome suggestion. Now, back to that expectation number two, expect the scale to fluctuate. Tomorrow night, I'll detail into why that happens and why you can expect weight gain or maybe not expect weight gain. But these two expectations, number one, feeling out of your comfort zone. And number 2, the scale to fluctuate, you need to be aware of these. If you can be aware of these, you can better prepare mentally to approach that transition to your maintenance phase. Knowing you're going to feel out of your comfort zone, a strategy I suggest is actually writing down what's going to change. So literally taking a pad of paper, a sticky note, putting it in your phone and saying, I know that my goal is now no longer focused on the scale decreasing, though it shouldn't be your only goal anyway, and now on maintaining my weight. Number 2, I'm not expecting a rate of weight loss every week. And then also, I expect to feel out of my comfort zone. I expect the scale to fluctuate. So how do you act on these expectations? Well, number 1, knowing the scale is going to fluctuate, stop weighing yourself as frequently, especially after introducing a free meal. Now, as I talked a little bit last time, I can't tell you how many times people weigh themselves the night after eating a lot more calories than they're accustomed to, and then they freak out that their weight is a couple pounds higher than the day before. Duh, you just ate a lot more calories. You've got more fluids, calories, carbs, sodium in your body. The number is going to be higher on the scale. Expect that. And to counter it and avoid that anxiety and uncertainty, stop. Don't weigh in that day. Wait a couple more days till you get back into your routine. Then you can expect to see a more steady number. Now I'm grabbing my notes here because I have a lot of good stuff here I want to share with you. Just taking a bit real quick. Okay. Another one. People don't know what to expect in terms of their weight. What happens? What does maintaining my weight really mean? Well, for me, what's awesome. Katie, how do you know if you're on the right track for maintaining weight? Oh, this is awesome. I was just going to it. It's like you read my mind. It's like you're sitting right here influencing where we're going with this. I love this. Now, what does maintaining weight mean? Well, this is highly individualized, but I just posted a new blog article, which I'll link in the comment section below here shortly, with an awesome chart that details the rate or the expected amount of weight to be gained during the maintenance phase. And what I classify this as is between 1 and 3% of your end of diet body weight. So a very simplistic example, if you are a 100-pound individual, expect to gain between 1 and 3 pounds over the course of the next 6 to 8 to even 10 weeks. And again, we'll talk about why that happens more tomorrow, but having this expectation is invaluable. You'll have a further understanding as to why this happens and why it's beneficial tomorrow. But again, going into that transition period ahead of time, you have to understand that this is an okay amount of weight. So yes, Penny, absolutely, using your average weigh-in. So let's say I'm weighing myself 2 to 3 times a week, which is what I recommend. I'm a big fan of the Monday-Thursday split or a Monday-Wednesday-Friday. You're finding your weekly average and comparing it across the first few weeks as you transition into that maintenance phase. And you want to compare the change in weekly averages and ultimately strive to stay within that 1 to 3% range. So a 200-pound person, testing my math skills here, would stay between 200 and 206 pounds. Pretty manageable. Now, the leaner you are, the smaller your overall body composition, it's going to appear like that change is that much smaller. But again, it's very relative to your starting weight, your ending weight. Your ending weight and how much weight you lost, how much weight you even have to lose, how lean you are. So again, it's highly individualized, but I love to provide people with numbers because that's one of the biggest questions I get when I'm transitioning a one-on-one client of mine, or a friend of mine as I like to call them, from dieting to a maintenance phase. They kind of are just uncertain of what to expect. What's next? Paul, I worked my ass off for 3 months trying to lose 15. I lost 18. Now what? What's the scale going to do? So again, I give them, most people it ends up being 2 to 5 pounds, but as I'm continuing to evolve my practices and my communication skills, I like that 1 to 3%. It's a little more individualized to people's body weight, and it helps to give you a clear-cut expectation of where you should be. Now, building off of the practical component of that, let me hydrate real quick. You should too. Now, Now that you know we want to stay within that 1 to 3% weight range, how you can act on that is if you notice yourself getting a little more loose with your free meals and your tracking, and you see the weight slowly increasing a little more than you would like, and you actually start to exceed that 1 to 3%, that's a sign, hey, maybe I need to tighten up. I need to go back to the same habits that allowed me to be successful during my dieting phase. I will throw this major caveat in right now is do not cut calories if your weight starts to increase during maintenance. That defeats the entire purpose of the maintenance phase and goes against everything we talked about in the last video about the number one mistake people make, which is not increasing calories. I guess this is worse as you actually start cutting calories again way too soon. That's for a whole nother video. I'll save that. So again, using that 1 to 3% as a guide can help make sure you are really refocused, gives you an opportunity to reassess every week, every couple weeks, how you're doing on maintenance. And remember, this is a time to loosen up a little bit, but you have to find your ideal balance between counting every single nutrient and enjoying time out, social occasions with family, colleagues, and friends. That is absolutely invaluable. And I think you'll find that having this number, it makes you actually feel a little bit more at ease. Now that you know the weight is going to fluctuate, especially after a free meal or gradually increasing calories, and knowing you have a range at which it can fluctuate in, you can take a deep breath, a sigh of relief that you're okay, you're in that range, and you're doing everything you can to find your balance, that healthy, sustainable approach to weight loss. Guys, any other maintenance-related questions, throw them below. I will come back through the comments section. But hey, if you found this portion valuable, please give it a like right now. Click that little thumbs up icon. I wish there was 2 because I would double like it. And share it with a friend, family member by tagging them below if you think they would benefit. I'm pretty sure you can name at least 10 people right now who have already struggled with diets in the past, or are struggling right now transitioning to a maintenance phase. You, yourself, you might be one of those people you name. I know I've struggled mightily with diets in the past transitioning out, and it's a little easier if you know what to expect. Now, to recap those expectations, again, expect to feel out of your comfort zone. Remember, we talked about society ingraining in our minds that we need to be a certain number on the scale. Well, that's far from the truth, not the case whatsoever. But as you transition from focusing on that scale to the scale's supposed to stay stagnant, well, you're out of your comfort zone. Another expectation is your weight will fluctuate. Maintenance is not a straight line in your weight. It's going to do this, especially after a free meal or that gradual increase in calories. You can expect I lost my train of thought there. So we got the fluctuation. You can expect a 1 to 3% increase in your body weight throughout the 6, 8, 10 weeks of starting your maintenance phase. This is not only expected, but normal and okay. And I'll detail why tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And lastly, an expectation I forgot to cover, but I do want to end with because I also get asked this a lot, is you can expect to make damn good positive body composition changes during maintenance. Think about it. As you increase more food, your metabolic rate starts to speed up. So you're burning more calories throughout the day. And by the way, more food means more energy and better recovery. So now all of a sudden, you're training harder, you're recovering better, your metabolism is speeding up. That's an excellent combination to actually continue making positive body composition changes. You're not at a loss or a standstill once you transition out of a diet. The more consistent you can be with your eating during maintenance, you can experience fan-freaking-tastic body composition gains. I'm scrolling up on my screen here. I saw a couple questions. Kara, how strict should I be going backwards through the cutting phases? Kara, that's a difficult question for me to answer, not, seeing your plan. And the auto diet template you're using is an excellent tool, but the way I approach things with one-on-one, it's not always necessarily a complete forward-backward flip-flop. The principles I keep in mind when reducing calories during a diet include, reducing fat first, keeping carbs as high as I can for as long as possible. But when transitioning out of a diet, I'm not necessarily going to add more carbs first, because fat has been low for so long, and if fat is too low for too long, it can mess with hormonal balance in the body. And I like to bring fat up pretty quickly and still make sure carbohydrates are in a good place to support increased energy levels. I hope that gives you a little bit of value right there and how to approach your transition to a maintenance phase. Everyone, thanks again for watching. Again, I would really appreciate if you like it, share it with someone who would benefit. And remember, tomorrow night, same time, same place. Yeah, I've got nowhere else to go. It'll be filmed here. I'm going to talk about why your weight is increasing when you transition from a diet phase to a maintenance phase, and why this actually may be a good thing and definitely an expected thing within that 1 to 3% body weight range I discussed earlier. Last thing I'm going to leave you with is take note of this. Just soak it in for a minute. It may be worth a couple free goodies in tomorrow's video if you tune in. Well, have a wonderful rest of the evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.